Hi everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to do more of a natural, everyday, simple makeup look. You could definitely do this in less than 10 minutes if you're really good at makeup, maybe even 5. So yeah, so this is perfect to wear to the office. I think it's super appropriate. I think it's actually perfect even for an interview. So it's just something simple, everyday, and that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead, jump into the video and show you guys how I pretty much create everything and why I'm doing each step. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. All right, so before I go ahead and start putting a bunch of makeup on my face, I'm gonna talk to you guys about skincare really quick, but just like really quick, not getting super in depth, just like quickly what I've been using on my skin specifically because I've been wanting to wear a lot less makeup. So because I am going for more of that minimal makeup look lately, I am trying to take care of my skin. I'm being really consistent. I feel like that's the key with skincare is you just have to be really consistent and always wash your face, always use skincare that really works for you and your skin type. So I think I've mentioned this before on my channel, but if I haven't, my biggest skin imperfections are redness, acne scars or acne marks or discoloration, and then texture. Texture is definitely a big thing, especially on the forehead. So I'm gonna let you guys know what I've been using and what has been helping me out. So I really like The Ordinary because it's affordable skincare, it's to the point, no BS, literally just the ingredients that you need. And if you guys go on the website, it explains perfectly what would work for you and your skin type. So I've been using azelaic acid. This is the suspension one, 10%. So this one is like a brightening formula. So what I've noticed with using azelaic acid, I've actually used this for like 2 years now, but I just started using it again and consistently, and oh my god, it is making such a difference. So this one specifically just helps kind of brighten the skin, and it really helps you with any redness. So you guys can see my redness is definitely decreased from all of the videos you guys have seen before because I've been really consistently using that. So it's gonna help you with redness, it's gonna help you with any scars, and it's gonna help you specifically with texture. So on my forehead right now, it is so much more smoother than it was before. So it's helped me with those 3 things. It's just like brightening, texture, acne scars, and any redness. All right, and the second thing that I'm using is The Ordinary niacinamide. I think I'm saying it right. This one is really good for acne scars, and this one is a lot more gentle than the azelaic acid. So if you're gonna use the azelaic acid, just make sure you're going in with really little bit, and you're kind of just trying out a little bit at first. I'm really used to it, so I can use a little bit more, but in the beginning, it's gonna feel like a little tingly sensation, especially if you have sensitive skin. So go in with a little bit, make sure you are using sunscreen. So make sure you go in with a little bit, make sure you are using sunscreen, especially when you're using this. And then also make sure that you are using a really good moisturizer. So that is pretty much it. Those are the 2 things that I've been using that's been really helping with texture, redness, and any acne marks or acne scars. So let's go ahead and now get into the makeup. I'm gonna go in with this moisturizing serum. This actually came with the Caudalie SOS moisturizing kit. I'll go ahead and show it to you guys. So this was actually sent to me complimentary, but I actually really love this brand. This is the Caudalie brand, and their stuff is very hydrating. So this is from the SOS hydration kit. So this is the serum that it came with, and then it does come with some other stuff. It comes with a moisturizer and like a face mist. The serum I really like, so I'm gonna go in with that. Alright you guys, so the next thing I'm gonna go in and do is use the Caudalie Venosource moisturizer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that to the skin. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this. This is the Undone Beauty. This is the On Foundation Glow Tint. They actually sent this to me complimentary, and at first I didn't really like it because it is so light coverage, but it's actually really nice, and it does stay on all day. The only thing I recommend is just going in after. If you want to conceal any other spots, you're gonna have to go in with concealer because this is such a light coverage foundation. All right, so to apply this foundation, I'm actually just gonna pick up my Sigma Small Duo Fiber brush, and I'm just going to apply that all over the skin, and I'm gonna kind of stamp it on, and then I'll just blend it out. If you guys notice, I didn't go in with a primer. That's because this has dimethicone in it, which is really common in primers. So it's gonna give sort of that primer type of look where it kind of looks like, it makes your skin look really like perfect and diffused and kind of like looks very smooth. So that's why I went ahead and just kind of skipped out on primer because I didn't think it was necessary, especially because there is dimethicone inside this product. And yeah, that's like something very common inside primers. So I went ahead and skipped on that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is go in with a little bit of concealer. The concealer that I'm gonna choose is gonna be something that's gonna match my skin tone kind of perfectly. So I'm gonna go in right here with the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer, and this is in light beige. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of apply that into my problem areas where I kind of have like, you know, just little pimples here and there. So I'm just going to apply a couple dots right underneath here. My dark circles aren't really that bad, but they're kind of still showing a little bit. And then right here I have a little pimple that's kind of showing. Right here. If you do have a little bit of redness over here, you might want to add a little bit extra there. Just a little bit skin loving. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit right here. Alright you guys, so this is literally all I'm gonna go in with. I'm just going to use this brush and now kind of buff everything out. Alright guys, so when I get into my under eye area, I do want to be really gentle and just sort of press that down and then buff. And I'll be honest, this brush is taking me a little while to finish this, so if you want to go in with something that would be a little bit quicker, you can go ahead and do that. Sometimes when it comes to makeup, less is actually more, especially because like I mentioned, that concealer is medium to full coverage. There's no reason for me to go in with a lot of concealer underneath here. I don't need it. It's just gonna add more layer. It's just gonna be more makeup on my skin. It's just gonna make it feel a lot heavier. So I just wanna go in with a couple dots. I'm gonna take my Laura Mercier setting powder. I always have trouble saying that. So this is the translucent powder and I'm going to grab this brush. So what I like to do is take off a little bit on my hand so I don't go in with a lot. So what I like to do is just kind of take off the excess on my hand before I go in, and then I'll just go in very lightly, like a light dust all over the skin. And I'm mainly gonna focus on the areas that get like kind of shiny and oily for me, which is right here. I'm gonna add a little bit to my chin because that area, I don't know why my makeup always comes off first there. A little bit on my forehead. Alright you guys, so that is pretty much it on the skin. I just went ahead and went in with a little bit of powder. I don't really like to go in with a lot. I just really wanted to set the face so that the makeup kind of lasts a little bit longer and to avoid my face getting shiny throughout the day. I do get a little oily here on my T-zone because I have combination skin. However, if you have like normal to dry skin, you could skip out on setting powder, but it's up to you. It's totally how you want to do your makeup. Alright you guys, so I'm actually going to go in with bronzer, and I want to mention something. If you do have textured skin, then you might want to go in with a little bit of setting powder in the areas that you are going to go in with bronzer, and you want to just put in a little bit of setting powder on there just to kind of create a barrier. So since I have textured skin, I noticed that when I don't go in with setting powder like in that area, it'll kind of like cling to kind of like the little hairs or like the little acne texture that I have underneath. So I've been noticing when I've been going in with a little bit of setting powder, it kind of creates like a bit of a barrier and the bronzer comes on a lot nicer. So that's just a little tip to give you guys. If you don't have textured skin, you can go ahead and skip that step. So the bronzer that I've been actually really liking is this one from e.l.f. This is Perpetually Tan. It's just like a really nice bronzer. It's not a contour, it's more of a bronzer. It's a really warm bronzy tone that's just really gonna bronze up the face. Contour tends to be a little bit more cool tone and it gives you that shadow, whereas bronzer tends to be a little bit more warm tone. So I'm just going to apply that sort of in threes, and I'm going to apply it really little bit. It's better to kind of build it up than to go in with a lot. Sometimes I've done that by accident, like I'll just go in with a bunch of bronzer and then I gotta fix it afterwards. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit, and then something I kind of like to do is just sort of blend it out first on my hand before I go into my face. So I'm gonna start at the forehead, and what I like to do is sort of place it up here, but I'm gonna kind of bring it into the hairline so that there's not like a huge difference. I don't want it to be like my pale head and then like bronzer. I want it to just look really nicely blended. So I'm just going to sort of pat that on. Alright, so when I get to here, I'm going to sort of apply it right here onto the cheeks. And if you notice, I'm not going in like this. I'm sort of just patting it on. When I get down to like the neck, I like to apply it right here. And then I bring a little bit down. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. If I wanna go in with a little bit more bronzer, I'll go ahead and do that, but I just wanna go in with a little bit right now before I start adding in a lot. All right, you guys, so I'm just gonna go back in and sort of add a little bit more. I'm gonna go in like 3. So the very last thing I wanna do is just go in with a little bit of highlight, just like in the areas where I feel like the light is naturally touching the face. So you guys can see like right here and then here, that's exactly where I wanna apply my highlight. And then sometimes I feel like up here looks really good too, right on top of my brow bone. So I'm just going to apply really little bit. I'm gonna grab a tiny little brush so I can really get into that detail. So this one right here is a Morphe Y14 brush. So I'm going to grab this highlight, and I like this highlight because to me it's very subtle. This is the, so this is from the Balm, and this is actually a really nice subtle highlight, I feel like. So I'm just gonna go in with a really little bit, like barely touching it. All right, so once again, I'm actually going to take off a little bit of that highlight onto the hand before I go ahead and apply that onto the skin. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit. I wanna apply a little bit right here on top of my brow bone. And I do wanna apply a little bit on my lids. You guys can see right here, I sort of just have like a natural highlight going on. I'll go ahead and just apply right in that area where the light is kind of touching the face. Alright you guys, so let's go on to brows. So the most important thing for me is to just comb out my brows, because usually when I wake up in the morning, my brows look like this. They literally look like this. The most important thing really is just to make sure that your eyebrows are just kind of combed out and look really clean. And then if you do have some sparseness in the brow, you can go ahead and kind of fill them in with sort of like a pencil brow like this. That's really, I feel like, your go-to, especially if you're going for like an everyday look. So yeah, so my main thing is just making sure that my brows look really clean. So I always just tweeze them just to make sure there's no hairs underneath here. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of fill them in just a little bit. Now, if you feel like your brows do move a lot throughout the day, which is really common, you might want to go in with a clear brow gel just to kind of keep them in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that just to kind of give you guys like a hint of what it looks like. So I'm picking up this ABH clear brow gel. I really like one from e.l.f. that's only a couple dollars, but I've used it so much I'm almost out of it. So I'm just gonna go through the brows and just kind of keep it into place. Especially right here. For some reason my brows always move right here, so I'll do that just to kind of keep everything in place. All right, so a couple things that I want to do now is just go into my waterline. So for my waterline, I'm actually going to go in with a nude pencil like this. This is from Sephora, and I'm sure you can't really even tell what it looks like on the hand. I don't even know why I swatched it because it's literally the same color as my hand. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is apply that into the waterline, and it's gonna kind of make my eyes look more awake. You can go in with white liner, but my thing with white liner is like, you can kind of tell like right away, like, okay, that's makeup. But with a nude liner, it looks a little more natural versus when you go in with a white liner. White liner looks really beautiful, and I feel like it really brightens your eyes. But like I said, I want this to be more everyday, simple, natural. So I'm gonna go in with nude because that's not gonna be as obvious. All right, you guys, so for my last step, for my lips, I usually just go in with a tinted kind of balm. So I'm gonna go in with the Sugar Dream Advanced Therapy Balm, and this is tinted. It has a slight little bit of pink to it, which I feel like my lips naturally do. So I'm gonna go ahead and just apply that onto the lips. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. The last step is if you wanna go in with mascara. I'm gonna use this Tarte Lash one just because this is all I have at the moment, but I do recommend going in with a really nice mascara that makes your lashes look natural. This to me sometimes can make it look a little clumpy, so I'll just go in with that, but I'm gonna go in with really little bit, so I'll just take off a little bit right here. And now I'm gonna completely avoid adding any mascara to my bottom lash line. Alright you guys, so this is my no makeup look. Everyday, simple. You could probably do this under 10 minutes. I just talked a lot through it, so it might seem like it's longer, but you could definitely do this under 10 minutes. You could kind of still see my imperfections a little bit, and I'm totally okay with that. Alright you guys, so this is what it looks like right in front of my window. This is just a natural daylight, and that is it. So there's not really sun right now, so it does look a bit gloomy, but this is what the makeup does look like. So yeah, I just wanted you guys to kind of get a feel of what real skin looks like out of studio lighting. You guys can see everything, like it's a lot different. So I actually did want to move my camera and do some more tutorials right in front of the, I actually do want to move my camera and do some more tutorials like right in front of my window, just so you guys can kind of see what it looks like without studio lighting. I feel like that would be really cool to do more makeup tutorials like that. The reason I do film a lot in studio lighting is because I usually film too late. Like I'll film around like 4 p.m. and it gets pretty dark, but I'll just have to wake up earlier. But yeah, this is what it looks like in front of my window. So I'm happy with how it looks. it just looks like everyday simple, and that's it. So that is my final tutorial. Make sure to subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what other tutorials you guys would like to see, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.